We're going to do a quick overview of iScout and how to get started and make the most out of the platform from day one. So, what you see here is we are on the initial screen, and your office should be listed right here. If you have multiple practices that you are reviewing, there should be multiple practices here, and you list or select the one that you would like to view. So, we're going to click on that. The first thing that's going to pop up is what you see is your dashboard. So Compass, of course, is going to be the reporting suite underneath. You'll see the Insight section. You'll see files. This is where you will upload your files. And remember, those are just one-to-one. The next section you'll see are your overhead. So this is where at the end of every month you come in and enter your overhead, which is your total expenditure from the business. That is all payment that goes out in a given month on behalf of your business. That includes payroll. So be sure to put that in at the end of the month. It's a one-time thing, but that's what's going to keep your financial profiles updated. And also it's going to play a huge factor in this cost per visit, which is extremely important because you do want to know how much it's costing you every time someone walks through your door. That is how you create profitable care plans and ensure that you can serve the community at a high level, but also be profitable. The next section right here you'll see is care codes. Care codes is where you associate your visit codes with iScout. So be sure to let us know if any of these change. But remember that once a code has a function, you do not want to change it to a different function. And once a code has been used, you don't want it to be for multiple things. So an encode can't be for this and that and a different thing in a different circumstance. One code, one problem it solves, and that is what it should be forever, or it breaks the association of your data. This is what the overhead section looks like. So you'll just hit the plus sign in the bottom side of the corner, bottom left-hand side. You put the amount, whatever it may be. Let's say it's 25,000. Then you're going to select the date. There's only going to be one date in each month. So you select the appropriate month, select one, and hit set, and then create, and it'll automatically populate that amount. Okay. With regard to the file section looks like this. You'll hit the plus sign at the bottom right-hand corner, and you'll match up your reports one-to-one and select execute at the end. So that's self-explanatory. So we'll get into Compass and the business insights. And in order to just give you a flow through in the very beginning, I'm going to highlight the first few things that you want to go through and get familiar with. And then just keep in mind, you always are able to grow into everything else. And I really encourage you to get in here, click on everything, view what's in here so you at least know what's there. But I'm going to focus on the areas that I would focus on first so you can maximize the platform and get a benefit from day one. You'll see up here that there is a red number. This is for the data quality review that's kind of ongoing here. So what will happen when you click on this is there'll be a number there if there are any issues that are found in your system. There's a variety of different issues that we'll be looking for. Everything from demographic information. So we want to make sure that emails are being put in, phone numbers are being put in, that kind of thing. Because if you run reactivation campaigns or whatnot later, we want to make sure your data is clean. Clean data yields great insight. Bad or dirty data does not lead to clean insight. It's dirty insight. So there can be anything from the demographic information. There can be active practice members who have not made payments. That would be an important one. On to any date issues with birthdays or planned start dates or case start dates. Those things are important if you're billing insurance, things of that nature. So just look out for that number. And whenever you see things pop up in red up here, we want to make sure they get addressed. That keeps your data clean. All right, so if we go to the front page, I would really focus on this practice room without future appointment. This is like a warning report. So it gives you all practice members who are active or considered active, who do not have future appointments. Because it has an asterisk, you can click on it and get to a secondary list. You sort this list by last visit date. for example, and now it gives you a list of all the active practice members that have been in recently that do not have future appointments, so you can stay on top of this. We know two things. When people are missing appointments or they don't have a future appointment, it's very easy to fall through the cracks. And we don't want to be thinking a month or two later, oh, where's Miss Susie? We haven't seen her in a while. Let's call her. When people are not keeping their care cycles or care plans, number one, they are not getting the care that you've recommended them. That's doing them a disservice. But number two, that's also lost revenue for your practice, because every time they come in, that does generate revenue for you, and it gives them the care that they need in order to have a fully functioning, highly functioning nerve system. So just keep that in mind, because the more they miss, the more value goes out the window with regard to the fact they need these adjustments or they need the checks to ensure the nerve system is functioning optimally. So I would really focus on that heavily. Keep in mind, everywhere you see an asterisk, you can click to get a secondary report. These are self-explanatory. Just remember that you can click into them as well, get down to the actual names of the people we're using to calculate the numbers. The other place that I would focus on is here. This is with the dollar visit average. You can see your cost per visit over here, but there's an asterisk. So I would click on this. This gives you a financial snapshot of the practice. So every dot represents a case, represents a file. Green's good, yellow's cautionary, red we want explanations for. So these are people, if I hover over this dot, for example, you can see this person we've collected $810 from. They've been in for 84 visits, but their DVA is $9.64. So we know on the other page it was costing us 21 bucks. This case is $9. That is a problem. Now, is this a person who has an expired card on file and we haven't updated it and they've been coming in for visits? Is this someone who has a decline card that we never updated? Is it a PI case that hasn't paid? Is it an insurance case that's not paying? Whatever the case may be, we want an explanation for it. And if we can possibly do it, we want to get them over into the green to correct the problem. Anywhere you see a name in our system, please remember that you can right-click and go to a member info card. That pulls up all of the pertinent information for that particular person, including the demographic information, care plan information, the appointments that they've had in the office, the charges and collections. And what we notice right here for this person, that we have charged them for $3,000 worth of services. We've just only collected $810. We can also see the service that they're utilizing in the practice. And anywhere in our system you see that a name, you can actually do that. Keep in mind that there are slicers up here. So if you do want to see how age ranges, for example, are impacting the profitability of the practice, you can see how over the age of 65, that would be your Medicare people, maybe 0 to 20, that would be, kids in the office, basically. So you can see how those things are impacting the profitability of practice as well. All right, so the next place I'm going to go is the new practice member life cycle. This is also somewhere in the beginning that you want to really have a firm grasp on, because what it does is it allows you to understand where everyone falls within the new practice member life cycle. In other industries, it would be called a sales cycle. So when someone walks through your door, they're not a practice member yet. They are a prospective practice member until they close for care. So we want to basically track those two events separately. So this is the new practice member life cycle. Green's good, yellow's cautionary, red we need answers for. So this column right here, if I have a green, it just tells me that the new practice member arrived for their appointment. This tells me that they ended up closing for day one. This is green. I know they showed up for their doctor's report. And green here means they've closed for care. They decided to proceed with care. If I see red here, that means that we have not built out their profile because they do not have future appointments. If I see green, everything has been completed for this person. All is well with the world. Now, the point is, I can tell a story very quickly about all the new practice members who come in. And the more quickly I can arrive at a conclusion, the more quickly I can delegate or assign or find solutions for. So this particular person here means they showed up for the new practice member appointment. They did move on for day one, they closed, but they have not been back for a doctor's report and they do not have a future appointment. So someone very quickly can understand what's happened and we can reach out to figure out why, and how we can get them rescheduled so they can review their findings. Here, this is a practice member who never showed up. They were scheduled, didn't show up, doesn't have a future appointment. So very quickly tell stories so we can assign tasks and work towards resolution. So I really get in the habit of looking at this. This is probably something you want to look at. You can look at it on a daily basis, but remember, you can set the date ranges up here so you can look back for a current week, look back for a current month, and then assign from there. So very important there. The next place I would focus would be office stats, and this is going to give your conversion rates at every conversion step in the process. So we have everything from new practice member show rates to the X-ray close rates. This is the overall office. We have PDR show rates, so how many people are showing up for your report of findings. We have two different care close rates. One of them, this is basically looking at every person who walked through your door, because everyone who walks through your door is a potential patient. They are going to potentially close. We want to know how effective you are at walking that person from start to finish to them closing. The next one's going to give you a very good idea of how well your report of findings is, because this is of the people who showed up to hear your report of findings, how many of them ended up closing for care. Down here, we're going to look at wellness conversions, how many people are actually converting to wellness in your practice. And here, if you look at this asterisk here, these are all clickable, which means you can get to secondary reports. So if I pull up this one, you can get down to the actual name of the person we're using to calculate the numbers. And then, of course, you have slicers, so you can see whatever date range you want. You can look at and identify trends in your data, so on and so forth. So I would really focus there. And then in the next place, without being overload, I'd focus on is your challenge report. And in the challenge report, what it is designed to do, and we call it your weekly challenge, because ultimately it sets goals for you. So it identifies 6 different key performance indicators, all of which directly drive revenue. The goal is set by looking at the last quarter, finding the best week out of the last quarter in each one of these categories, and then it makes that your goal. So you're always tracking upwards and trying to best or beat yourself. It'll also look back through all the data you have in the system, and it'll give you a best week ever. So you have a goal, you have a stretch goal. It does rank those weeks in accordance with all of the data that's in your system. And then here it gives you momentum. So it'll tell you, this is the capability for the week. Based on the day that you look at it, this is what you've already achieved. And this is what you still have in the way of potential for the remainder of the week. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you're on track to hit it, and progress meters. Right? So you always have something to strive towards, but this happens automatically. Now, of course, there's a bunch of other stuff in the system, but in order to not overload you right now and just get started, I would focus on those particular areas, and that'll help you get the most out of the system very quickly. And then, of course, we can grow into all the other reporting. If you have any other questions on getting started, just please don't hesitate to use the chat feature in the bottom of the portal. So it's very simple. Click on it, put your name, email in the message. It will notify us. If there's someone available immediately, we will get to you immediately. If not, we will get back to you in short order. But this is the way that I would respond with any questions or any suggestions that you may have, problems you're having with the system, or problems that we can help you solve in practice. So you can put that all here, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So that's just an overview to get you started. We hope you have a great day. And we know that you are going to benefit from having your numbers in front of you, not spending time on the calculations, but spending time on the analysis and solutions, so we can serve more people and be profitable while doing so. You all have a great day, and we will talk soon.